Hi, so this is just a little tryout for my daily stew, which is a cross between a stew and a soup. So I'm going to have to tilt the camera so that you can see my prep area. And this is really done with, I do this every single day. I do it for lunch, I do it after my workout, I prepare it, then I put it on to cook and go and have my shower and come back and it's done. So I use whatever is in the fridge, whatever vegetables I feel like, but most of the time the bases are what I've already got here. So I'm just going to shift the camera so that you can see exactly what I've got here. So I'm going to be using, these are all washed already, so I've prepared them. I start with the tomato, I use some leeks, and I always use the green part of the leeks. I also use the white part, but I'll use that maybe for dinner. But I don't understand why people throw these green parts away. They're just fantastic. I have carrots, which I have just scrubbed. I haven't peeled them. I don't peel carrots. Same with red beet. And I scrub it. I don't peel it. Parsnip, and that gives it a little bit of softness, and it makes it more filling and really sweet. It's beautiful. And I use about 3 stalks of celery. And this, I just had this from dinner last night, and it's the stalk of a broccoli, so it needs to be chopped up quite fine. So the herbs that I use are, this one is a basic Italian, it's in a different pot, but what I get it in a little bag, and I put it into this pot, and it's basically got basil, oregano, thyme, marjoram, beeslock, which is chives, and garlic. Oh, I don't know what happened to my computer there. I'm back again. So to this one, and again you just slice it down the center, and you're left with little dices. Okay, and that goes in. If you notice it boiling up, you just add a little bit more water and just clean that off. And the next thing, this one, it can be quite tough, so I'll just chop that up a little bit small as well. It's really nice tasting as a broccoli stalk. So you don't use the end bit in the broccoli stalk, so you just maybe cut about a centimetre off the bottom. The next one is the parsnip, so again slice it down. So you want about the same size. Again, it doesn't have to be even. And then put it on its side, and you get the little. My knives aren't that sharp either. I don't do proper big chef knives. I don't like big knives, so I use just literally this one for everything. So again, same size. There we go. Put that in. It doesn't have. It's just rough. It's ready. It's fast. It's super easy. So with the celery, I'll just take off any little bits that don't look so great. Slice it down the middle. Again, doesn't have to be even. So put them all together, and that can just diced as well. Celery is just one of my favourite vegetables. That goes in the pan, and there we go. So with the leeks, you have to really make sure that the leeks are washed really well. So I kind of strip the leaves off and run them under the tap and make sure they're all really clean. So what I do with the bigger leaves, I'll put them all together, and I'll just put the knife through them so they just are a little bit, because if they're really big and flat, they can be a bit tough. But generally, you know, when they're cooked, they're absolutely delicious. And then you want to put them all together and just chop them like so. ready to go in. So that's pretty much, today I'm actually, when it's cooked I'll show you, I'm going to put in at the end, I've got some spinach leaves. And spinach doesn't keep very long when it's fresh, so I want to start using it up. So today I'm going to I'll be adding a little bit of miso at the end and some spinach leaves. So literally you got, this pot will do, if it's just myself, it will do lunch and dinner, maybe a little bit tomorrow as well. So if you can see, it's literally about this full. So I'm going to cover it, and then once it's boiling, I put it on the back burner and I put it down so that it's just simmering. You never keep it boiling. So once you bring it to the boil, and then it's ready to simmer. So just until it brings to the boil, I'm going to actually make some hummus, because I really love having hummus on my gluten-free bread when I have my soup at lunch. So I've washed some garbanzos, which are chickpeas. I've washed them already. Make sure you rinse off they're from a jar, so I rinse off all the liquid with them. A lot of people can use that liquid as well, but there is salt in it, so I like to wash that off. So I'm just going to pop them in my container, and then I'm going to use some lemon. So just have that, and I'm going to squeeze about, yeah, that should be enough. And I'll keep that, and I also put some of that in water in the morning, so I'll put that here and I put it in the fridge. So then just to add a little bit of liquid as well, I'll put a little bit of water in there. Just keep an eye on this so that it doesn't boil too much. I'm going to add about this much liquid. Yeah. And I'm going to add some roasted garlic. About a few days ago, maybe 3-4 days ago, I roasted a whole clove of a whole bulb of garlic. Right, I'm just going to show you this because this is already boiling. So once this has come to the boil, I'm just going to turn the back burner on, turn this one off, and just set it, literally set it to simmer, and that can be going. So so the garlic then I just squeezed out of the bulb and put it in here, and I just squeeze a little bit of lemon juice on it so that it just stays nice and fresh. So I'm going to use a little bit of the garlic. It smells absolutely delicious. So about this much. Put that in, and you can add whatever you want. You can add cumin in here, you can add coriander, however you like it. I actually like to add a little bit of the black pepper. I think hummus with black pepper is really special. So I also want to add, you don't have to add tahini, but it really, this is pure tahini, and I really like to add tahini simply because it gives it a nice kind of a salty flavor, although this doesn't have salt in it, and it just adds like more bulk in it, and it makes it much smoother and creamier. So I'm going to put it in with a fork because that just helps it to run off easier into the container. So this is a container. So this is just sesame seeds, that's it, roasted sesame seeds. So I'm going to put about this much, should be enough. Pop that in there. And pop these back in the fridge. And then it's ready to blend. So this is actually my all-time favorite kitchen implement. this is just, it's so easy. I use it for smoothies, I use it for desserts, I use it for anything. And hummus, you can actually make hummus also with kidney beans, white beans, black aduki beans. The most common one, of course, is chickpeas, but I like it with either. So I'm just going to make a little bit of noise now. So I'm going to put this on pause while I make some noise. So I've just blended that, and you can see the consistency. It's quite a thick paste, but if you want smoother, you just add a bit more water, or you can actually even add the stock from the soup. That's fine, but it'll be a little bit warm. So I like it about this consistency if I'm going to put it on bread. If I want to put it on dinner or lunch in terms of like a salad dressing, I would make it a little bit runnier. So this is just perfect as a spread. So, and there's also no oil in it. You can make it with oil if you want, there's just no need. The tahini itself will bring up the fat content enough. So again, you know, go lightly on the tahini, but it will just give it a lovely flavor and consistency. So that is a hummus. I just cover that over until I'm ready to use it. So now I'm going to go and have my shower. That the soup is I'll just show you, the soup is simmering, and when I come back I will add a little bit of spinach, and I will add a teaspoonful. So when I come back, I'm going to add some spinach and a teaspoon of miso, and so that'll take roughly about 10, maybe 15 minutes maximum. So I'll see you in a moment. Hi, so it's been on simmer now for about 15 minutes or so, and I'm just going to add a little bit of spinach. I don't often use spinach in the soup, but because I've got so much of this left, I thought it would be a nice addition. So not too much, otherwise it kind of just takes over, and just tear up the big leaves. Like so, and then just pop it in. And literally spinach, you just want it to wilt, so you don't want it to cook at all. So just like so, and allow it just to soak in and wilt a little bit. We'll let it simmer for another bit. Okay, and you can see it already wilting. So we'll just turn it up very slightly, and then I'm going to get the miso paste. There's a couple of miso pastes that I like, and this one here is one of them. I absolutely love this one. It's the dark one. It's just got a really nice rich flavor, but if you prefer something a little bit more subtle, then there's also a white miso, which is really nice, and that gives it a lighter color. And also it's a little bit sweeter. But this one is more like a rich, almost like a soy sauce taste, but it's fermented, of course, fermented soy paste, but it's a little bit richer. So you just need a tiny little bit of that, but the white one you can put quite a big spoonful in. So I'm going to use, I'll just show you exactly how much I'm going to use. About this much, and it's really important that you don't cook it once the miso goes in. Otherwise you just lose the whole benefit of the miso paste. This is what it looks like. There we go. It's a very dark treacle kind of color, and it's also important to make sure you seal the packet completely afterwards, because it is fermented and it can keep for quite a while. So make sure it's properly closed. Put it back in the fridge, and now I'm going to turn this off completely. Just give it another stir so you can see it. Give it another little stir, and yeah, great. so the spinach is wilted, and just pop that in and just let it sit for a minute. So once it's in, then you start blending it, and you've got to make sure that you get rid of all, because it's off now. I'm going to take it over here a little bit so you can see properly. So it's really important to blend it all so there's no lumps of the miso paste. So I kind of squash it against the side of the saucepan. That normally works. And just make sure you get it all blended. And it's already smelling absolutely delicious. So once that's in, again, don't cook it because it's fermented, which has got a lot of lovely good bacteria properties, so you don't want to lose that, and you would lose it if you started to cook it. But heating it is fine. Okay, I think it's all blended now, and I'm going to show you what I sprinkle on top of it. So that's it done. So I serve it in a very big bowl because you can have as much of this as you want. It's got little to no fat in it. It's got very few calories because it's high water content food. It's soup, it's filling, and it's just amazing. So bring it over to there and make sure I get the spinach in. So like so. Again, more spinach and some more of the liquid, and then I sprinkle, this is seaweed salad, which has got wakame, it's got nori, wakame and dulse in it. So I just got 2 little shakers, and I just shake a little bit here. That provides you with good iodine, which you need for your thyroid. And that's pretty much it. That's my stew actually. And that will be lunch and probably dinner as well. And I might put a sweet potato or something in it if I'm having it for dinner. So that's all from my tiny kitchen. Until next time, thank you. Bye.